Save the pig! What the heck? A pig with a party hat. Hello, Mr. Piggy. The secret piggy. Save the pig, the game. The whole game you're trying to save the pig's life. Help!
If you want to say Darksydephil is a failure, there's no factual justification to make that statement. I am happy. I'm healthier now than I ever was, outside of maybe having a more receding hairline here, as you can see, because I'm getting older, and there's nothing I can really do about that. Outside of that, I weigh less, right? I have less health problems, right? I told you guys, I used to be depressed. I used to drink all the time and treat my body like a terrible way. I don't do that anymore.
Lol.
Right? I eat way better. I'm happily married. I have a great home life, which I wish I could spend more time with my wife and my cat. You know? And on top of all of that, alright, I am happier today with the content that I put out than I ever was before. When I sit down with you guys every day and we have this fun podcast, and we have a react show, and we have gameplay streams of various different kinds. One could be an action-based gameplay stream of multiplayer. One could be a chill stream where we interact and we talk a ton and we're playing a different style of game. No matter what content I'm putting out, I'm happy doing it. I'm actually having a great time. And people tell me there's a meaning behind that despite the fact that I'm not Mr. Popular on YouTube anymore, and I never will be again, because the kind of content that I put out is not in line with what YouTube wants. YouTube wants the drama, the clickbait, the viral stuff, play the hot new game, jump in with other streamers, and do silly, nonsensical, immature content, and pranks, and all this crap. Just keep talking nonsense about people, and you will be popular, right? I don't want to do any of that. I never wanted to, because for me, it never was about being YouTube popular. I stumbled accidentally upon YouTube popularity. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't by design. It just kind of happened. And then after doing that for about 5 years, I got tired of it. I wanted to change. I told you, by like 2016, dude, I was burnt out. I didn't even want to do the kind of content anymore, which is why I started a whole new channel called KO Gaming. And I tried to do something different for a whole year. And then in 2017, I became an interactive streamer, and I've never looked back, right? The last 6 years of content I put out, I guess at this point almost 7 years, has been way more meaningful, in my opinion, than anything I did beforehand. And that's the God's honest truth.
I may be living month to month, paycheck to paycheck, begging for fucking tips and shit on stream for the rest of my life.
So, for me, I'm enjoying everything, and I have a viewer base that likes what I do. Sure, they may be much, much, much smaller than what I used to do, correct? But at least people are happy with me. They like the content, they watch the content, and they support the content, correct? So that's the truth, and that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you have 1,000 people who really like your stuff, or 1 million people who kind of like your stuff because you're popular and they just casually watch it. It's all the same. As long as you're happy with what you're doing, you feel there's meaning to it, and hey, you make a living doing it, you're a success.
I love drama.
That drama shit.
I love it. I crave the drama.
I commit to all of you. I am going to do my absolute best to stay out of nonsense. So, it's this simple, alright? Don't bring it up, because I have nothing to say about any of their drama and their crap. The reason that they are trying to talk about me is to get a rise out of me, which then, in turn, gives them more content. You understand? One morning, someone had casually mentioned to me something about the interview again, and I had mentioned it again, or whatever. That day, Stuttering Craig sat on his stream. He had no content to do that day. Nothing. So instead, he sat on his stream and said, I'm going to sit on my stream until darksydephil invites me to his show. What? First of all, when do I have guests on any of my shows? It was a gameplay stream day for me. I hadn't spoken to him. Why would he be on my show? But you see what I mean? And guess what? Idiots showed up to watch him sit there and do nothing. That's what I mean. They literally name-dropping me can give these people attention. You understand? Which is hilarious, because I'm nobody. I'm not a big prominent guy anymore. I haven't been in many, many years. I'm just someone who likes to stay in his lane and play games and chill with my audience, and that's it. I want nothing to do with this documentary, this podcast, this drama, this crap, this nonsense, and all of this, right? So it's funny, because now this documentary just came out about me again. People are like, are you gonna react to it? No. I promised you guys, right, that I would stay out of it. That you guys don't want me to jump back down that rabbit hole, because all that's going to happen, it's going to bring more drama, more nonsense, more negativity, more toxicity, and it's going to derail us from the stuff we love doing. Instead of sitting here and playing games and enjoying what we're doing and having a good time together, it's going to be constant. Oh, this person said this about you. This person said this about you. This is bringing it up. This is bringing it up. Right? So that's why I'm not doing that, right?
Oh my God, he's drinking donations.
And listen, I get it. Drama can be fun, correct? It can be. Every once in a while, you want to razz someone. You want to make a joke. That I understand. I don't mind the fact that people bring up the name DsP or darksydephil in a razzing way all the time. People mention my accident. People bring up something stupid that I did, you know, at one point. They bring up the dumb memes. All of that doesn't matter. It's just stupid, right? It doesn't affect my content. I get to keep making what I love, and my audience doesn't give a shit about that stuff. But where it becomes hurtful is when someone's entire agenda is to basically tear someone down for personal gain, right? Obsessed to the level of obsession, correct? That's where it gets dangerous. And there are people out there who are absolutely obsessed with me because they feel that they could get something more out of it if they were to keep bugging me and doing shit, that they could get something out of it, whether it's more content for their channels, whether it's attention, whether, again, get me to name drop them and or say something. So now they have another topic to talk about today, right? So there you go. So, with all that being said, all right, that's why, if you're wondering, well, I don't get it. Phil is really missing out on an opportunity right now. A documentary just came out about him. He can easily react to it. He make tons of views and money. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not about making the views and the money. I'm not. I'm about enjoying the content I'm putting out, covering the games. It's the busiest gaming time of the year. Why do I care about people making drama content now? Why would I ever, right? If we're bored and there's nothing else going on, right, and we have some time to kill, you know, maybe it's worth a look. That's not what we're doing right now. You know, we're in the midst of the busiest gaming season. I'm behind on games because I was sick. Now is not the time to drop everything to start talking about bullshit. You know what I mean? There's people out there who right this moment, I'm not kidding you. There's, let me put it this way, because here's the thing. For every one thing I tell you guys publicly, you can assume there's 10 times more than that going on behind the scenes, but I'm purposefully not mentioning it. And that goes for literally everything I say. I'm serious about that too. I'm not exaggerating. Every time I mention, oh, here's one little thing that happened, there's probably 10 times more going on behind the scenes that I'm not bringing up. So, what do you guys know about? Well, you know there's a documentary. You know there's people trying to pull me into shows and stuff to try to get attention for themselves. For those public things you know about, there's about 10 times more going on behind the scenes of people trying to get my attention, trying to get me to interact with them, trying to get something out of me. It's happening constantly. All right? From every avenue possible, I get bombarded on a daily basis by fucking people trying to pull me into shit. I wish that was a lie or an exaggeration. I really wish it was, but it's not. All right? So I just want you guys to understand that it takes a lot of effort when you constantly are being bombarded by people from every direction. And the funny part is, some people are really nice. Oh, well, we're going to be nice to you, and we'd like to give you an opportunity if you would do this with us or come on our show with us and do this. And then some people are outright nasty. If you don't do this, we're going to do this to you. And if you don't do this, we're going to threaten you with this and that. It's just crazy. It's crazy how people behave differently to try to get what they want. And they never do. Because if you haven't noticed, guess what? I don't involve myself in any of it. Have you seen me involved in any of that shit? No, because I refuse to. I'm not going to become a toxic person, a drama person. I refuse. I very well could. I could change all my content right now to be just like these other fucking people. And I could easily tear them down, just like they try to tear me down constantly. But I don't play that game. I don't want to. That's not who I am. I wouldn't be happy being that kind of person for YouTube because I don't like hurting other people regardless of if I get overdoing it or not. At one point, I'll be honest, when I was younger and more immature, I did find pleasure in that. I did. Tearing down others, you can feel good about yourself by tearing down others around you. You can do that, and I've felt that personally. I have felt that in my heart, is that sometimes if you're someone bigger than you, more popular than you, and you can find a way to tear them down and cause them misery, you feel a level of, like, enjoyment out of it. I don't know what it is. Maybe something with the human condition where you enjoy seeing people get hurt. I don't know. It's kind of messed up.
He is a sociopath. And what I mean by that is he has no empathy, sympathy, or morality in him. He literally just doesn't have that capability. So this is true. This is documented.
Right? And I know because I've had that feeling before. But as I grow older and I get more mature, I don't want to do that. I would much rather be a person who, like, everyone can live and let live, and everyone can live and get by, and we don't all have to stomp on everyone else around us to get ahead. That's why when I see a documentary, and the name of the documentary is 10 Years of Failure, it's like, no, you can say 10 years of decline, You could say 10 years of, you know, of falling out of prominence. 10 years of ridicule. All of that makes sense. 10 years of failure? How is that a failure that I'm happier today than I've ever been? I make content that I want to make. I stay out of drama because I don't want to hurt people, right? How is that failure? But if there's someone who's desperate for content and you constantly have to rip other people apart to have that content, I would argue that's more of a failure than anything else. If all you can do is rip other people apart to make $1, you're a bigger failure than someone who's way smaller than you but loves what they do and doesn't hurt anyone to make that living. That's my take, and you can disagree with that, and that's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? You know? And by the way, because some people are saying, oh, now he's ripping up Turkey Tom the documentarian. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm not even speaking about him. I'm saying all these people out there who say shit like that, who say that, oh, you're just a failure and all that. I'm not a failure. I'm happy with who I am. That's a success in life. I used to be depressed. When I was bigger on YouTube, I was a depressed mess. I was drinking. I was unhealthy. I hated myself. And I was only getting by pumping out millions of videos a day. You know what I mean? Okay, maybe not millions, but you understand what I'm saying. Like, that was a miserable existence. Today, I'm happy. So that's not being a failure.
I'm the one. I'm the one with the successful YouTube channel. Me, Ree.
You know, why I still bring this up today? Because look what's going on. The documentary just released. Everyone's talking about it and wants me to talk about it. I have nothing to say. I'm not going to watch it. I don't have time for it. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not slamming it. I haven't seen it. You can't slam something that you haven't seen. I've learned my lesson in that regard. So I hope that people understand that. And even Turkey Tom, I hope he understands that. It's not a slight against him that I don't want to watch his documentary. I promised my audience that this year I would stay out of the drama shit. And I am going to stick to that commitment. I'm not going to go back on it all of a sudden because there's a chance for personal gain. Okay? So don't come to my streams bringing it up. Don't try to derail this shit. You know what I'm saying? If I see it, it's gone.
I'm just going to ban.
You know, if people can't keep my name out of their mouths, here's just what I want you to think. Right? Every time that you hear someone bring up darksydephil or DsP in one of these toxic negative ways, right? When you hear them do that, here's really what should click in your head. Why on earth are they bringing up Phil? Phil doesn't talk about them. You know, think about it this way. I never bring up people on my streams unless someone brings them up first. I would never just out of the blue bring up another YouTuber for no good reason, right? There's usually a valid reason, like they're talking about me or someone has mentioned them to me in a comment or whatever, right? So, in that regard, for them to just be bringing me up and name-dropping me, you know what I mean? It's like, why does Phil live rent-free in your head, and why can't you get over this guy? That's lame and pathetic, and move on. That should be what everyone thinks when they hear one of these people name-drop me, right? I want nothing to do with any of these people. So why do you gotta bring me up? To get a rise out of your audience or whatever? Like, how lame, right? This is like the equivalent of a Rickroll at this point. Like, Rickrolling was so popular, how long ago? 15 years ago? And it was the meme that got beaten to death. Now when you hear someone do a Rickroll, it's like, oh god, Rickrolling, what are you, like 5 years old? Are you, you know, how outdated can you possibly be? It's just lame. It's like a cheesy dad joke, right? I mean, that's what it really should be at this point. When people bring me up, it's like, what are you, fucking lame? Have you not gotten over this yet? Have you not noticed that Phil has fallen out of prominence? He's literally a small-time content creator. He doesn't bring anything up. He's not pertinent. Why would you bring him up? That should be the reaction people give. But I guess people are just so up their own ass about drama on YouTube that any drama is good drama to them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god, he's drinking wheelchair donations. There's still this back here. And it's still in the back of my neck, the back of my head, the back of my mind, and it's always telling me it's WWE Champions time. I love it. I love it. Is a mobile game addict. Phil has indoctrinated children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone, just gone like that. In an instant, fucking gone. I just care about money. That I just can't help it. I eBay. Contributions are mandatory, but I need your help. I am appealing directly to you. No decency, no respect, no common sense, no fucking maturity. Is the guy who just doesn't get reality.